I think a lot of people don't realize that in a relationship, you can be with anybody if everything is perfect, because perfect is easy, right? I can be with anybody in the world if they never do anything that I do not like, because that is easy. You have to work at being with a person who's going to also have their own opinions, their own feelings, and their own perspective of things. And even when you disagree, deciding to be with them despite the things that you don't like that they like. And that's a conscious decision that you have to make every day.
Hey everyone, welcome to Listen Up. Today's topic talks about how to build a healthy relationship. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy.
What are your names?
Harold.
Valerie.
How long have you been married?
40 years.
Wow, that's amazing. This is your first marriage?
Yes.
What would be your advice to have a long, healthy relationship?
Don't try to change each other. When you met and fell in love, you accepted who you fell in love with. So don't try to change them.
Did you ever get into a pattern of trying to change him or him trying to change you and you guys caught that?
All the time.
It's a work in progress. It never goes away.
Yeah, we're guilty of that, but we know that the best way to compromise is to respect each other and always communicate, because it's by communicating and respecting each other's feelings that make you understand each other's perspective.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that.
What would be your best piece of advice for women on building a strong relationship?
I would say noticing the little things about your partner. That was something that helped us really early, was finding those little things that I could do to serve you and to love you that you notice. Whether it's even just filling up their water bottle, baking them something, cooking them dinner. Because I think most men are a lot more sensitive than they put themselves up to be. And when they can feel loved, they also feel safe. It shows respect.
Men are in general pretty lonely. Like, we're hard on each other, we're competitive. You don't really get that sort of like thoughtful, caring side from your guy friends. So when you find a woman who can be that way with you and do the little things, guys notice for sure. And it makes it easier for us to commit.
I love you.
I love you.
It's fun.
Yeah, good job.
I love that.
How long have you guys been married for?
43 years.
What is the secret for being together and married for 43 years?
People think children come first. No. The marriage comes first, because if you don't take care of the marriage, you don't have a family. A couple needs to date each other regularly, regardless of children. We have 5 kids. And when the babies were little and I was breastfeeding them, we took them with us. But then when I could leave them with a babysitter, we still dated every single week.
And you have to get away from the wonderful children.
We love our children.
And have some time just for the two of us, so we can sort of focus on that, have that kind of uninterrupted communication that you can't have when you have a lot of children around.
We have hurt each other a lot over a relationship of 10 years, but I would say that we are also closer and more in love, and I would say actually even happier than ever before. And it's ironic because normally you would think, oh, if like you've hurt each other in your relationship, that it would tear you apart. But actually, I think our successes come from focusing on repairing, and every time we go through a hardship, we get closer through going through that repairing process, and we want to share these tips and tricks that we found over the 10 years to help you out.
Every couple needs to have a repair strategy. You're gonna hurt each other. You guys are gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna act in your ego and do dumb stuff. So you need to have a repair strategy. And a repair strategy looks like communicating openly and vulnerably and being able to take, first and foremost, accountability for the pain that you cause in your relationship. And I also think it means being able to sit in discomfort together. Like, it's going to be awkward, it's going to be uncomfortable, especially like the days preceding, an incident. You have to be willing to be in that discomfort and be accountable.
Yeah, and be able to identify, where did this come from? What triggered it? What pattern is being brought to the surface?
And learning. And you also have to be able to forgive and let your partner be new. It's like, we're all going to make mistakes, and being willing to give them the opportunity to do better is huge.
And being able to share that vulnerability and healing and transforming together brings you even closer and strengthens your trust and bond with each other.
What's your best relationship advice?
Marry someone who has the attitude that everything is work-outable. Like if there's a flag, if there's a tension there, something that makes you uncomfortable, those are things to note, but not necessarily run from. So that's an opportunity to kind of press in and explore and see what happens. Instead of making assumptions, instead of running, ask questions.
What do you mean by that, or what's really going on underneath?
Yes, what do you mean by that? That's a great question to ask.
That's something we've been practicing for a long time. Instead of making statements, we ask questions.
Because it may not be what you think it is.
There were times times when I didn't think we would make it 30 years, but we kept pushing through and we did. We're more in love now after 30 years than when we started.
Sometimes it's hard, but it's totally worth it.
3 tips to keep your relationship healthy.
Tip number one.
Keep dating. Always go on dates. Plan cute outings.
We try to go on 2 date nights a week. He takes me either to the canyons and we watch a movie with the stars, or we go to the bow and arrow range, or we go have a picnic at the park, or we go on a walk. We just like to get out of the house and do things. I think sometimes you can get stuck in the house just like watching movies, getting comfortable. We continue to date all the time. Every weekend we have like something planned for each other. It makes us bond more. We do new things and learn and grow. Number 2.
Communication.
That's so important. Anytime we argue or we have a disagreement, we try to communicate until it's either resolved or we see eye to eye and we're like, okay, that's your opinion, this is my opinion, let's meet in the middle.
We really don't go to bed like angry.
I think it's so bad to go to bed
like,
angry.
Don't walk out the door and just like go
We
do
also
something
don't
else.
hold things in. Like if I'm angry, I will tell him. That's just my personality. But he's also really good about when he's uncomfortable or not happy with something, he talks to me right away. Number 3.
Prioritize.
Each other.
Your partner should be your number 1 priority.
Yeah, I agree. Your partner, in my opinion, should be your main priority, unless you have kids, I guess. But that's who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So
Even
that's
the kids,
who,
I'd be like, fend for yourself, kids.
we
Like,
might get some people arguing, but
I think so. If the brain, like, which is the 2 of us, isn't healthy, like the rest of the, like,
that threw me for a loop. I was like, the brain? We are the brain. I get
that's a
that.
bad example, but
I get that.
if the people running the show aren't healthy together, then how can the kids be healthy together? You know what I mean? So
I agree.
you can put that part in there.
Okay.
How long have you guys been married for?
37 years.
What's the secret for being married just 35 years?
Playing together.
Okay.
Never let divorce be on the table.
Okay.
Know that if you put that on the table ever, then pride gets in the way.
Okay.
And so it just isn't an option. And realize that there's seasons.
I was just going to say that, realizing there's seasons to life. There's going to be tough seasons and amazing seasons, and
always have an adventure in mind. Like, because we always have, like, we're going to Greece in June. We're going here and there. It's always have adventure.
and something you're doing together, working toward together.
We just wanted to give our perspective on what makes a happy relationship.
Also, we just get a lot of questions. People asking us stuff. We just want to give our insight. But one, I think the biggest thing is communication. We've been together for like 3 years, going on 3 years.
Going on 3 years.
Basically, communication is key. Like, we literally communicate. Even when we're mad at each other, we try not to say mad at each other more than like an hour. I'm a little stubborn.
A little.
But I communicate. That's the thing. I'm more stubborn, but I communicate better.
I used to be really bad. I used to be really bad with my emotions, and I realized, like, as a man, like, you're supposed to be able to speak and communicate. You know, a real man not gonna hold it inside and just go about, you know, his day with it. So you gotta just speak on things.
And also, one, just like giving each other space. So I mean, we're together all the time, but we do give each other a lot of space.
Facts. Like, she'll be in the room, and I'll be in the living room. You know.
That's the space we're talking about.
Yeah. Trust.
Trust, yeah.
Trust is like really, really big. Like, going into the relationship, I already knew the type of woman she was, so I didn't have to worry about anything. I'm confident in her. I'm confident in myself. So at the end of the day, I trust her. You know, I trust her in my life, and I know she's not going to do anything to betray
me. And then I
me.
trust him too. So I think that's like also why we never get into it, or we're always just really happy with each other because we genuinely really trust each other, and we both have been in relationships prior to this, especially me, where I came out of a relationship where my ex was cheating and there was no trust, and then I came into this relationship so different because we completely trust each other. So that's like a really big key thing besides like communication. Yeah, but that's basically it for today. Yeah, we just wanted to share that.
Yeah.
What's the key to 40 years of marriage?
The never-ending realization we have really different brains. I'm sure what you're doing makes sense to you. My brain doesn't get it. Could your brain explain it to my brain? And I use that language. I can still decide if I'm going to agree with it or not, but I need to understand. And it has helped me so many times from being just pissed at Dave. Instead, I realize my brain doesn't get it. I just trust your brain. I know you're a smart human being.
Been married for 40 years.
Men
Before you go to work, or before she leaves for work, hug her, kiss her on the forehead, look her in the eyes, and tell her, baby, I love you. I'm so happy that I get to be your husband. Lord God, I thank you for this beautiful woman that you gave to me as a gift. I pray that you bless her day today and let her experience your presence in a real way. Challenge her to grow. And Father, teach me to be the man that you gave to her. Teach me to reflect your love and your passion for her in a real way. And may I only ever speak over her what you say about her. Thank you, Lord God, for the honor of getting to be her husband. That's uncomfortable to your flesh. You're gonna get nervous if you've never done it before. Good. Step outside of yourself into his mind about her and start walking in that in obedience. And if she says you don't have to do that, do it anyway. Because you're supposed to be leading. Leaders don't do stuff just because their followers like it or don't like it. Leaders do stuff because it's right and it's healthy and it's holy. So step up and lead your wife by being affectionate for her in that way.